Hello, this is Beth here, lead nurse educator at International RN. So I'm an experienced nurse here in the UK, and I have been teaching off-ski and doing overseas recruitment of overseas nurses for about 60 years. I also teach the CBT exam. In 2024 is when I made my own company of International RN. If you'd be interested in taking a course with us, please check out our website. Or if you want more tips and other videos for your off-ski exam or CBT exam, please check out our social media and YouTube channel. Okay, and as always, good luck with your exam. Hello, so in this video, we're going to go through some of the types of questions you will get in Part A of your CBT exam. That is the drug calculations part. So we're going to go through the measuring correct dose and conversion of units. So measuring correct dose, this is really super easy. You should not have any problems with it. It's just to give you an idea so you know what to expect. So this is a sample question. I don't know if you can see it, it's a bit small, but it doesn't really matter because it is so easy. So you can see here we've got a pot with some medication in. So the question is how much medication is in this pot. There is the lines on the pot which tell you how many mils. So the answer to this is 20 mils. And that is it. Super easy. Same kind of question again, but we've just got it drawn up in a syringe and it just asks you to write the answer to one decimal place. So answer would be 1.8 mils. So metric units, this is where you need to convert from one kind of unit to another, for example, milligrams to grams. I would advise you just to practice this before your exam. Even me, I do get a bit confused with it sometimes, so I think it is a great idea just to prepare yourself for it so you can pass those questions super easy. Okay, so here are some of the common units you will have in the exam. So milligrams to micrograms. So 1 milligram is 1,000 micrograms. 1 gram is 1,000 milligrams. 1 kilogram is 1,000 grams. And we've got the same here, but the other way round. And then also litres and milliliters. So 1 litre is 1,000 milliliters. Okay. So how to change from one to another. So if you don't know, it's either timesing or dividing the number by 1,000, depending if you want to make it from a big unit to a small one or the other way round. So let's have a look at making it from smaller units to larger units. So for this instance, you need to divide by 1,000. So let's have a look at a sample question. So let's say the question is to convert 100 milligrams to grams. So you will need to divide 100 by 1,000, and you can see here our answer is 0.1 grams. Remember in the exam, you need to check if you are required to record the units or if they're already written there. Okay, and obviously do that correctly because it is a computer marking you. Okay, so to do the conversion the other way around from from large units to smaller ones. So for example, litres, which is a large unit, to a smaller one, which is milliliters. So here we've got 5 litres, which we need to convert to milliliters. So to do this, you will need to times 5 by 1,000, and you see the answer here we've got is 5,000 milliliters. Okay, this is just what I've written here. This is how I remember the different kind of sizes, 'cause sometimes it can get confusing with these milligrams, grams, micrograms, all the rest of it. So the term actually means million. So I just remember that as small, and micro is even smaller than that. So I just think of that as something you need to look under the microscope, like in a lab, because it's so small, like there's tiny, tiny cells. And that helps me to remember the difference between milligram and microgram. Might be helpful for you, might not. This is just what I find works for me personally. Okay, so the questions might appear how we've just looked at them, or it might be thrown into a drug calculation. So let's look at a sample now with a drug calculation. So you see here we got a patient prescribed digoxin, 250 micrograms, but on the box, when you go to get the tablet, it is in milligrams. So what to do? So we need to make both of the prescription and what's on the box into the same units so we can calculate how many tablets. Okay. So so I decided to change the strength on the box to micrograms. So in order to do that, we need to do 0.125 times by 1,000 to make it into micrograms, which will be 125. So now we can look back at our prescription again and recalculate it. So you can see on the box, I've just changed the units which are the tablets is, just so you can see it a bit more easy. And now we can see quite straightforward it is the patient is prescribed 2 tablets, okay? If you're struggling with this kind of calculation, don't worry, we will be making another video on this in the future. And as always, you can check out our courses. And as always, good luck with your exam.